Aight, aight. We got creature challenge. 7 animals that can defeat a grizzly bear in a fight. I'm one of them.
So this whole grizzly bear is the ultimate animal debate. Yeah, that's cute. But let's be real here. While the grizzly has the aura of the guy she tells you not to worry about,
Hey, look, it's Ja!
It's one of the most terrifying animals to encounter.
It's Ja Morant chasing you down!
It had such an intimidating aura that scientists named it Ursus arctos horribilis, which literally means the horrible brown bear. And when your name has the word horrible in it, you know you're dealing with a nightmare. In fact, grizzlies are so strong that they've been known to knock over 700-pound dumpsters with ease, drag buffalo carcasses around in the snow, shrug off a shot from a shotgun, and even a juvenile bear has been known to survive getting hit by a car going 40 miles an hour. Yeah, they seem pretty unbeatable. So this made my mind wonder, what could actually beat a grizzly bear in a fight? Well, there are actually creatures walking this earth that could pretty much humble the grizzly bear here. Oh yeah, and in case y'all were wondering, no, the tiger is not on this list. And honestly, if y'all think a tiger stands a chance against a grizzly bear, y'all need to get your facts straight. I made multiple videos explaining why grizzlies beat tigers, and for that matter, any living big cat on average. But I digress. Today, we're diving into 7 animals that could beat a grizzly bear in a fight. Some of these are obvious, others might surprise you, and one of them
He kicked him in the nuts! He kicked him in the nuts!
Some of these are obvious, others might surprise you, and one of them, you'll be wondering how it even made the list.
That's
until
nuts.
You realize
it's
built different. But no spoilers just yet. We gotta see what we're working with here, right? What are the baseline stats of a grizzly bear looking like? Well, first off, it's a massive animal. The average male interior
grizzly bears have humps.
Well, first off, it's a massive.
You see that hump right here? This is a hump.
Animal. The average male interior grizzly weighs around 600 pounds and stands up to 8 feet tall. But the brown bears that live in the coastal region of Alaska get much larger. They clock in around 860 pounds on average. So yeah, brown bears, especially grizzlies, are famous for one thing, being built like tanks. We're talking very thick fur, dense layers of fat, and a bulky frame that's practically made to soak up damage. You see, their thick hide and fat clumps up with an applied force like biting. Essentially, there's a reason why these bears don't look all scratched up and teared through when they 1v1 each other. And something unique about grizzlies compared to other bears is that they support a large shoulder hump, which are muscles specifically designed for displacing heavy objects and for grappling with animals. Essentially, grizzlies are very good at wrestling and manipulating objects. In fact, you can see this when grizzlies fight each other. They stand up, wrestle, and bite all across the body, which is actually unique compared to big cats, which specifically target the neck region. In essence, grizzlies don't do precise surgical strikes like big cats. They instead are brawlers that will basically maul whatever they can grab. And just one more thing to note before we actually move on to the list of animals that can beat them. Grizzlies have insane cardio. In fact, some grizzly bear fights have been documented to last over 10 minutes, and there are even instances of grizzlies chasing and outrunning horses to exhaustion. So what does this all mean? Well, any animal trying to beat a grizzly needs one of two things. Either match their strength and durability and can hang in there for the long haul, or they've got a finishing move so powerful it cripples the bear pretty quick. That's the bar. Now let's meet the few animals that can actually humble
I ain't gonna show y'all though.
Grizzly bear. Oh yeah, by the way, these animals are in no particular order. So yeah, anyways. And first one up, we have the polar bear. Was this really a question? It's just a bigger bear, right? So just how large is a polar bear? Well, mature males weigh anywhere between 900 to 1200 pounds on average. And listen, the grizzly is tough, no doubt, but the polar bear is like its older, bulkier cousin who lives in sub-zero chaos. This thing isn't just a larger bear, it's the largest land predator.
Brother bear!
We're talking a 1,000-pound carnivore of muscle, fat, and claws. It basically just does what the grizzly can do on a larger, deadlier scale. And here's actually something to consider if a polar bear and a grizzly bear were to go at it. The polar bear's claws are actually sharper and more curved, while they may be a little shorter in length. This essentially enables the polar bear to not only grip onto its environment better, but also be able to tear through flesh easier. Oh, and by the way, its skull is also larger
why don't they cook it?
than the grizzlies, and
They
it
can
has
cook it, bro.
longer arms as well. So yeah, the polar bear would also have a reach advantage in a fight against a grizzly. And I know some of y'all might bring up pictures of a grizzly chasing away a polar bear off a meal, but there is context behind it. Number one, the polar bear already ate and was looking for scraps, so it didn't really want to fight, you know? But the second reason, it never stated how big the polar bear was. And judging by its anatomy, we can see it's not a fully grown individual. And I could go on, but to reiterate, the polar bear is just a bigger and arguably deadlier version of a grizzly. You know, it has that older brother type of aura. So yeah, anyways, next animal that can defeat a grizzly, we have the saltwater crocodile. Talk about a nightmare that just doesn't care about your fate. Yeah, you get the saltwater crocodile. Salties are rightfully named the largest reptile. The average adult male clocks in anywhere between 900 to 1100 pounds and reaches lengths between 13 to 15 feet. And by the way, yeah, they can grow much larger than that. And there's a reason why this lineage has been around for over 200 million years. They're not just survivors, they're resilient, ruthless carnivores. Salties come equipped with thick, ossified scales, which is basically armor plating over their muscle. And to make things even more terrifying for the grizzly, these beasts actually have a muted pain response. For example, there are videos out there of
greedy, bro. He just walk around their mouth open like this. I just want food. Where the food at, man?
else getting their legs ripped off without even reacting. And salties bring this indifference, I don't care attitude.
Bro, drink, eat in the water.
Reptilian stare. And have you seen the sheer size of their 2.5 foot long skull? Its jaws are absolutely huge and supports one of the most powerful bites on record. In fact, their bite is actually used for latching onto something while twisting it violently. This is called the death roll, and all it takes is one good bite of the grizzly's paw in order for that to happen. So how would a fight actually look like? Well, it depends where it takes place. In the water,
on land or on sea, yeah.
I think it's obvious the grizzly stands no chance. But on land, it's not looking great either. Salties actually have great explosive power and can lunge a lot faster than you'd expect. Just for reference, a Nile crocodile was seen catching a cheetah off guard. Yeah, and their armor-plated backs? Good luck to the grizzly trying to claw through that. But one thing the grizzly has is endurance on its side, and crocs fatigue rather quickly. But remember, the salty has a big size advantage, a muted pain response, and has that crippling one-shot move. All it takes is for the salty to fluster the bear with its explosive power and chomp
that's right. All it takes is one.
Down onto a limb or its neck. So yeah, in a straight head-to-head fight with a saltwater crocodile, I just don't think the grizzly has it majority of the time. But how about a natural rivalry? Next on the list of animals that can defeat a grizzly is the bull bison. Now I know what you're thinking. Don't grizzlies and bisons inhabit the same area? And yeah, that's true. And this is what makes the rivalry all the more heated. So first off, just how big?
Okay, so
this is what makes
Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams versus Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills.
Makes the rivalry all the more heated. So first off, just how big
they just spoiled the Super Bowl, bro. They just spoiled the Super Bowl right here. Caleb Williams versus Josh Allen.
What makes the rivalry all the more heated. So first off, just how big is a bull bison? The average bull clocks in between 700 to 2,000 pounds, depending on the location and subspecies. So yeah, it has more than 1,000 pounds on the bear. And here's the thing, yes, grizzlies do hunt bison, but only the juvenile and sick individuals. And taking the calves is one thing, but winning against a bull bison is a whole different ball game. We're talking about a 2,000 pound wad of muscle that has an insanely strong shoulder and neck region
I gotta
that
go
can charge up to 35 miles an hour. In fact, it's noted that grizzlies actually avoid confrontations with adults due to their sheer power and pointy horns. So yeah, the grizzly doesn't want the beef. In fact, it's noted that when grizzlies actually fight adult bison, they almost always lose or end up crippled. You see, when the bear actually tries to wrestle with it, the bison usually charges in and rams/gores the ribs and side area of the bear with their thick skulls and sharp horns. And when you have a nearly 1-ton animal basically bodying you, you know it cracks bones. And necropsy analysis of bears actually prove that fact. So grizzlies might try to take down bison calves or sick individuals, but a fully grown, angry bull bison in a head-to-head fight, that's a trip to the ER for the bear. Oh, and speaking of trips to the ER,
take that bear to the ER.
Grizzly might not even make it there when it steps up with the next monster on the
gorilla,
list.
right?
The hippopotamus.
Oh yeah, hippos are deadly. That's right. Hippos, they crazy.
This isn't just a dangerous animal. This is a walking war crime with tusks. If you think the grizzly is durable, well, the hippo is on a whole nother level here. It supports a broad rib cage,
crazy, bro.
a
They're
stocky, robust.
What's that word there? Domestic. That's the word I'm looking for. Domestic, bro. You don't mess with their territory.
Frame that actually has a
lot
more muscle than
you want to be their food.
Skin so thick, up to 2.5 inches deep, that it might as well be armor-plated leather. In fact, hippos are actually so resilient that they've been known to survive gunshots from rifles. Okay, so just how big is a bull hippo? Well, they clock in anywhere between 3,000 to 4,000 pounds on average, and reach between 10 to 15 feet in length. So yeah, it takes a special kind of stupid to want to pick a fight with this thing, especially when seeing its giant mouth. I mean, have you seen how large its teeth are? They can grow over a foot long. And by the way, their bite force is a lot more than that of the grizzlies as well.
He just swallowed a watermelon. He just swallowed a whole watermelon. He didn't even take a bite. He just put it down his throat.
So yeah, it could definitely body and crush the grizzly like a melon if it wanted to. The bear can swipe at it all it wants. It's barely getting through. Oh, and by the way, the grizzly isn't safe anywhere when fighting the hippo. Hippos are surprisingly fast on land and move even better in water. Yeah, the grizzly messing with it is basically like calling for a same-day shipping to the afterlife. And speaking of animals that can humiliate the grizzly in terms of durability, the next one on the list is the Pacific.
Oh, I know this is a giraffe right here. This is a giraffe. I know next one's giraffe. The wars.
Walrus. And I know a lot of y'all are thinking, a walrus? Seriously? Yes, seriously. Polar bears straight up struggle with this thing. This isn't some beach bum with tusks. This is a 2,000 to 4,000 pound unit with tusks.
Suffocating. He's humping them.
With tusks.
This suffocating and humping them.
A 2,000 to 4,000 pound unit with tusks the size of ice picks. And you want to talk about defense? Their hide alone weighs over 1,100 pounds, which by the way is almost twice the size of a grizzly bear. Their hides are so thick and tough that even the claws of polar bears have trouble ripping through it. Please tell me how a grizzly is supposed to deal any meaningful damage. And speaking of damage, those ivory tusks of the walrus? Yeah, the walrus either swings its head and stabs its tusk through the grizzly, or completely steamrolls and bodies it. Now, I'm not oblivious to the fact that the walrus is pretty awkward on land, and the grizzly could potentially pick at it from a distance like polar bears do, but the walrus's sheer mass and dangerous tusks give it the win. If a polar bear struggles to take down a bull walrus, so will the grizzly. And speaking of animals people sleep on, up next we have the giraffe.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Yeah, I said giraffe. Have you ever seen one fight? Those legs are registered weapons.
LSK, you can beat a grizzly bear.
Clean kick from a giraffe can cripple a lion. And those hooves? Yeah, they're the size of dinner plates. But just how big is a giraffe? Well, a bull Maasai giraffe weighs in around 3,000 pounds on average and stands at a towering 18 feet tall. Yeah, that's not just tall, that is small building size. What's the grizzly even gonna do? It's out here trying to wrestle a walking skyscraper? Yeah, no. You see, grizzlies would have poor leverage due to the giraffe's extremely tall legs. Essentially, if the bear tries to stand up and grapple with it, the bear is not getting a clean clinch, it's getting kicked in the ribs by the giraffe's powerful legs and sharp hooves. And just to add insult to injury, giraffes use their whole body as a battering ram as well. They body slam, ram forward, and swing their necks to hit their opponents with their antlers. To simply put, the bear is getting all
giraffe has antlers? A giraffe does not have antlers, bro.
To hit their
you never seen a giraffe with antlers, man. Where the antlers at? I don't see it.
To simply put, the bear is getting
Giraffes do not have antlers. Stop it.
Almighty
Hold
their
up.
necks to hit their opponent.
Bro, giraffes do not have antlers. I've never seen a giraffe with an antler before. They have ears.
Ram forward and swing their necks to hit their opponents with their antlers.
Where the antlers at? I don't see it.
Simply put, the bear is getting almighty pushed and will know pain. Now, could the bear potentially injure the giraffe? Maybe, but I don't see it winning majority of the time. This fight might be a little unconventional, yes, but the giraffe is taking the W. Okay, now we're on to our last one, which is the white rhino. This isn't just an animal. It's a biological bulldozer with one goal: move through anything dumb enough to stand in its way. Even cars aren't safe from this beast. Rhinos are famous for easily tossing around cars like nothing, carrying buffaloes on its snout, and even made a warthog believe it could fly
luau
for a second.
Look at his mouth. He flipped him up in the air like a pancake.
So yeah, the grizzly would just be a warm-up for it. But just how big can rhinos get?
He flipped it up in the air.
The white rhino is the largest subspecies and the second largest animal. Mature males average between 4,500 to 5,000 pounds and has a shoulder height as tall as the average man. And by the way, that's all solid mass, not fluffy weight. We're talking pure muscle strapped to thick, coarse hide that can grow up to 2 inches deep. Once again, this animal is just so large and has such dense hide that a grizzly could really deal some serious damage. And let's not forget the most iconic thing about it: its keratin horn. It's not just for show, it's a weapon of war, capable of goring lions, bodying buffaloes, and turning would-be challengers into a wildlife documentary. The grizzly could try to charge, claw, bite at it, it wouldn't really matter. The rhino is just in another league of durability. And if you pair that up with the amount of moving mass and power behind every one of its,
they ain't even running full speed, they going fast. They're not even full speed, they going fast.
Moving mass and power behind every one of its movements, it would definitely ragdoll the grizzly here. If the bear isn't getting tossed like a pizza, it's gonna get absolutely steamrolled. Now, before anyone asks, where's the elephant? Yeah, I didn't include on this list because, let's be real here, it's just too obvious. An elephant would undoubtedly body a grizzly with zero difficulty. It wouldn't really be a fight, it'd be a tragedy. So yeah, there you have it. 7 animals that can humble the dreaded grizzly. Do any of these
Ja? 7 animals that can humble you, Ja.
surprise you? Would you take the bear over a walrus? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and feel free to check out the rest of my content.
What did you shout out?